YouTube. So I am always saying this exact thing. Um, First of all, Casper Arms, it's a channel. They do a bunch of military stuff. And something in this clip like stood out to me. I'm just gonna go ahead and play it, but they're talking about increasing the accuracy with the AK and different things that the Soviets tried. And I want you guys to see what they actually came up with and what actually worked, because it's like the same goddamn thing that I'm doing, and people are like, "Whoa, really?" Here, check it out.
Magazines, especially since lighter models made of bakelite and plastic appear later. In the
Yeah.
60s, Soviet engineers tried to attach a drum magazine to the barrel of a Kalashnikov assault rifle. It's hard to believe, but this is not some fiction or rumor. These are literally technical
Look at that.
solutions that Soviet engineers were working on.
Look at
The
that.
effect is that at the time the Russians
You see where they attached the drum to the very front of the rifle, right? Yeah, it's going to make it way more up there, but that's going to increase your accuracy a lot, especially with a full-blown AK-47 that's fully auto. Um, your barrel's just going to jump around less. It's going to be easier to stay on target, and they actually did this.
were very much concerned about the problem of the low accuracy of the AK rifle, and hanging a drum
Exactly.
magazine under the barrel was one of the options. Interesting thing is that really worked.
It
By
worked.
increasing weight by 2 kilograms, the gun became more stable, barrel recoil decreased.
Think about that. By 2 kilograms, that's what, 4.5, 5 pounds. They slapped 5 pounds on there, and it magically became more accurate. That is pretty much what I've been doing with every single rifle to just try to tame down the recoil. Anything above a 5.56. That's just personally for me. If it's a 7.62 by 39, yeah, I'm gonna want to put some accessories on the rail. If it is a 308, I'm definitely going to want to put a bipod, a light, just something on there to weigh the rifle down a little bit. That way my barrel's not jumping off the table, as I like to say. Obviously, I go to shooting ranges. It's really nice to just be able to drop a bipod and not have to fight your rifle jumping off the table every time you squeeze the trigger. And normally this is going to be problems that you're going to run into with larger caliber rifles, right? I'll be honest with you, even 5.56 is somewhat snappy, right? And I'm not like a small person by any means. I'm like 215 pounds. Even 5.56, it can still be snappy. It's a very, very fast round leaving the barrel. There is some snap to it, especially if you have a very short barrel. If I hand my son Ivan the Mark 18, I can totally tell the difference. If I just slap a flashlight, a heavier flashlight, onto that gun, it becomes a much better shooting experience for him. He becomes more accurate with the gun. He becomes able to take faster follow-up shots, and that's just from weight being added to the front of it. So the gun travels less every time you pull the trigger, and you don't have to fight the barrel so much to get it back on target. It pretty much stays on target, and with that, you can take a bunch of shots. So this is something I've been doing for a while, and I don't know, it seems like people are scared of weight on a gun, and they forget the actual golden rule. I'm just going to tell you right now, the golden rule is a lighter gun carries better, and a heavier gun shoots better. Okay, the thing is, a lot of people want to build some kind of like Marine rifle. Well, like, Marine rifles are for Marines that are already carrying 85-pound backpacks. And like most of the time you're carrying a weapon and patrolling with it a lot longer than you are actually shooting it. So that's the way I've always looked at it as a civilian. Just ever having to use a rifle in a defensive situation, I don't think a little bit of extra weight is really going to hurt me. I'm not trying to carry my rifles through 20 miles of rice fields and, stuff like that. So if that was the case, if I was actually getting deployed, maybe I would actually, I don't know, take 4 or 5 pounds off one of my guns. But that ain't happening, folks. So, yeah, I just thought this was interesting. There is actually some science here. Leave it to the Soviets, who've had to tame down their AK-47s. And it's like I've been saying it the whole time. That's what the AK has been missing. Why didn't they put a rail on it so they could, instead of being limited to putting that giant drum on there to add, what, 5 pounds to the AK, by just putting a rail on there, you can now add 5 pounds of flashlights, lasers, grips, whatever you want. And I think that's really where the Soviet unit messed up. Just put a heavier rail, put some kind of rail system on the AK. I think they should have developed that a long time ago, made the AK way more modular. And, I just always thought that it took a really, really long time to get like a full tactical AK. I always wanted one. I had to wait a long time to get one, right? Yeah, the Ruskies really waited on that shit for a long time. And the crazy part is, apparently they knew that by weighing that barrel down, you were going to get better results. So, yeah, I guess it's just harder for a country like Russia to implement a change like that to a weapon system, something like the AK. But I honestly think it should have been done a long time ago. I think they snoozed a little bit there. So yeah, it is nice to see that they actually have some science behind this, that they tried it out, and the crap that they came out with. I mean, that AK looks absolutely ridiculous. You have your magazine in it, and then you have that drum hanging off the front of it, and you're like, oh man, imagine trying to shoot that through like an obstacle or something like that. Like that thing is gonna get in the way, right? So it's crazy that they even did that, and it just makes me think about some of the AKs that I've been building, because I've been saying that the whole time. Get a full tactical rail on it and start putting some shit on there, especially if it's a larger caliber. So you guys will see some of the guns I'm working on. I'll showcase them and let you know how they work out with all the different accessories and whatnot that I put on them. So yeah, welcome to the channel. Later, everybody.